But I do wonder, does anyone want this? Like, and I asked that in the top 5 yesterday. Did ESPN ask this question with this thing? Does anybody really want major conference realignment? Usually when you talk to someone and you get into this discussion about 4 or 16-team super conferences, the tone of it is like, well, it's where it's going. That's where it's going to happen. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. And it's kind of doom and gloom, which makes me wonder why do it if the fans, the people who consume the product, don't want it?
Paul, this is a very simple answer.
Yeah, it's money. I know,
it's
but like,
money.
But
Yeah,
like, the thing is, but if people don't want it, that money is not what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, but how many times do entertainment corporations shove something down our throat that people make very apparent we don't really want, and they just shove it down our throat and shove it down our throat because they don't care, because the money is all that matters. Yeah, I mean, if ratings were to dramatically drop in the next 10 years, if they went the super conference route and like half the people that were watching in 2020 were watching in 2030, then I think they'd have to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure some things out. And I think that is a risk that they're going to run, because we still don't know what it's going to look like. Like, we think we know, and we can talk about what we think it's going to look like. We really don't know, though. Like, nothing might change in the next 5 years. Like, everything might just stay pat, and then in 5 years, 4 years, Texas, Oklahoma leave, and everything else is the exact same. Like, that's a possibility. It's not likely, but it's a possibility. But, clearly Texas and Oklahoma wanted it. I mean, their fans wanted it for the most part. I know there's some that are maybe a little bit skeptical, but for the most part, they wanted that. But I don't know how many other teams really do, because I think they start to, look at what the breaking up of certain rivalries and the travel and just the unfamiliarity with certain brands and just the corporatization of it all. I mean, I know it's already been a very corporate product for a long time. That's why every bowl game's got a major dumb sponsor, like the Poulan Weed Eater, or just like these random things. I mean, it's all about the money. But no, I definitely get the sense that there's some fans out there that aren't too keen on maybe not necessarily the first steps that we're taking, but what those steps eventually lead to, which is the mini NFL and all that idea. Then, yeah, I think there are some fans out there a little bit skeptical of that.
Yeah, I'm curious from our listeners, like, do you want this? Is this something that you would want? Is this something you've been saying, like when Texas and Oklahoma did this, you said finally? Because I don't really get the sense that, people wanted that much change. I think what they wanted, which was about to happen, was an expanded playoff. And then all of a sudden this happens on top of it, and you're like, well, I don't know if it makes it better.
I think if you're going to poll people on what they would rather have, conference realignment or expanded playoff, they'd rather have the expanded playoff, but it looks like we're going to get conference realignment before the expanded playoff. So, so much for the fans, right?
Yeah.
Didn't care about that. They don't care about the fans. They won't care about the fans. I mean, I don't think Alabama's AD is sitting there going, well, we're going to lose fans if we bring tech. No, they're looking at how many they'll add initially, and then they'll sort it out after that.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't. I wonder. I don't think most people want it, and then that's the disconnect that eventually we're going to have, and maybe that's why streaming becomes that much more popular. So